everyone, it's Caitlin.
And it's Sierra.
And welcome back to Grace Talk. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about college.
Why it's okay not to go to college.
Well, not necessarily what's okay not to go, but
to go to a 4-year university.
Where to go, yeah.
So right now I go to Western Piedmont Community College, and in high school I applied to so many colleges I couldn't tell you where I don't even know. I didn't even know where I wanted to go, honestly, and I didn't know what I wanted to do at that point either. And I got accepted to Salem College, and that's where I had planned on going all the way up until it was time to go to college. So, but I had a good scholarship there. I didn't feel like the Lord was leading me to go there, especially after we went to camp. I just felt like it was best for me to just stay home. Something was just leading me to stay home, and now I kind of know why that reason was, because me and Dustin are engaged. And I met him, and I wouldn't have met him probably if I was in college at the time. So that was a blessing out of that, especially at Western Piedmont. I am in the nursing program, or trying to get into the nursing program for the fall of this year. So I will be an RN with my associates next May. So it's a lot cheaper, honestly, than it would have been for me to go to Salem, and that's just a big plus for me and my family, really, because my parents were the ones who were going to be paying for it. So I'm just glad that I chose not to go, so they wouldn't have to.
And it was a private school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it would have been a lot.
It was
more.
way more.
It was wasn't it an all-girls school? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been crazy. So right now I'm at McDowell Technical Community College. Originally I was supposed to be going to Montreat, and I was going to be playing on the tennis team. I had gotten a scholarship and everything, and they didn't notify me until July, and it was actually, I think, right before we left for camp. They told me and everything, and I signed the paper to play tennis for them and everything, and I thought I was good to go. Well, I realized that I only had a month before I moved in. I had nothing together because I didn't know I wasn't prepared for it yet. And so I had to make a lot of decisions in a very short period of time, and in one day I decided that I was going to stay home. And this decision was after I talked to my grandmother about it, and I talked to Linda about it, because it was Bible school week, and all of these things were happening. And also I realized that there was a lot going on with the youth. It was right after we had gotten back from camp when everything started dealing and everything. And I said, I don't want to miss out on these opportunities. And if I'm away at school, I don't know, tennis matches, they're all weekend. They're on Sundays. I don't know if I'll be able to come home from church or come to prayer on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I didn't want to miss out on those things. And so the Lord was really dealing with me on it. And even though it was a Christian school and I felt like I would have been in good hands, I just don't think that I was ready for that jump yet. And so in one day, I enrolled at McDowell Tech, and my grandmother helped me with all of that. And now I'm getting ready to finish my second semester there. And I'm very glad that I did stay home, because this gave me an extra year with Ethan, because he's graduating this year. So we had that extra year, and we grew closer together this year. And I've gotten to do more, have more experiences, and I'm not having to go on like Fridays and stuff like that. And I'm home, and I love it. So it's been a really good experience, and I'm really glad that I did stay home.
So I wrote down some points on, if you're struggling and you don't really know where God wants you to be right now, how to choose where you need to be in. And if you need to stay home, or if God is wanting you to go somewhere else. I mean, that's possible. I don't want you to think that we're saying He doesn't want you to go, because He could want you. I mean, He could want you to go somewhere off and not stay home. But at the same time, this is just how it worked out for me and Caitlin. And my first point is just to pray about it a lot. I mean, you just have to really pray that He'll show you signs. And it's easy for you to see the signs that He's showing you, because I know He can show you signs and it just gut flies right over your head and your life.
Listen, every single time I thought about moving and I thought about going to that school, I felt sick to my stomach. And that's a sign that I never knew. I thought I was just nervous, but every time I thought about it, I just felt sick. So then I realized, oh, I don't need to be going there yet if I'm not ready for it.
Yeah. And then my second point is just to look for signs from God that are saying, yes, go here, or no, don't go there. And if you choose the right pathway that God is wanting you to take, it's going to turn out to be so much easier. Like, I couldn't have told you, if I would have went to Salem, I wouldn't have been able to become an RN or anything like I want to do now. I would have had to go into exercise science or be a teacher or something like that I really didn't want to do deep down. So that was a big sign for me because they didn't even have what I really wanted to do. So I was thankful for that, for staying home and being able to get the education that I really wanted and what I would enjoy. And then my third point is just to think about what would improve your relationship with God, because you don't want to go somewhere and then be influenced or tempted to do things that God wouldn't approve of. And that was a big thing for me too. I didn't really want to be tempted to do things or like pressured into something that I knew that God wouldn't have approved of. So I think that's a big struggle with college, especially because a lot of colleges are a lot to party in, and I just not about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew I wouldn't enjoy it, and that was another thing for me. I would have much rather stayed home and done what I wanted to do than go off and try, and people try making me do what I wasn't interested in.
Because when you're in that environment, it's different than when you're away from it. Because when you're away from it, you'll think, oh, I'll never do that. But then you get in that environment, and everyone else is doing it, and you're like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. You know? So.
Or they won't leave you alone about it, and you just finally give up because you can't. I mean,
exactly.
I just don't like being put in those positions.
So after I graduate from McDowell Tech next year, I will have my associates in the arts. After that, I will transfer to one of the schools of my choice. I'm not sure where yet. I'm thinking about Montreat, picking up where I was supposed to play tennis, but then also I'm thinking about a bigger school, but wherever I go, I want to study communications and theater, and hopefully I want to, I'm thinking about going for my master's, and I want to teach at maybe a community college or a high school, and teach either communications or public speaking or theater, anything in that area, because that's what I enjoy to do, and if I can mash it all together, I would love to do that, but communications seems like it's the only way to successfully mash all of those together, so I think that's the road that I'm going to take.
After I get my associates in next May, not this May, next May. I wish it was this May. But after I get my associates, I'm just going to go and work as an RN, and then I'll continue to get my bachelor's and my master's. And after I do that, I want to be a midwife, deliver babies. So I'm excited, I really am, but this has helped me because me and Dustin will be able to get married after I get my associates in my RN, because I can work while I'm doing that. So that's a plus for sure, and I'm just really excited. It's going to be fun. Fun journey of school, constant school.
We'll see. In a few years we'll look back at it though, and we'll be like, it wasn't as terrible as we think it is now, but
yeah. I don't know. I think I'll still think it was awful.
We'll be like, oh, it was worth it.
If you're thinking about going to the nursing field, really think about it. Hard. Really think about it, because, my goodness, it's about made me want to quit.
Nope. That's the motivation for the people out there.
Well, do what you want to do.
Yep. And pray about it and see where the Lord leads you.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.